town board meeting, July 9th. We all stand for the invocation. And Nancy, would you do the honors?
Father God, we come before you tonight asking for your wisdom, knowledge, and discernment for those representing us to know your will for Princetown. We ask your peace and unity that only you can give. Thank you for working your will in our town. Bless those who represent us and their families. We pray, as your word says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. We declare this for our town. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We'll call the town board meeting to order at 6:01. Sandy, could you please read the roll?
Councilman Pavoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Schaefer? Here. Councilman Gray?
Here.
Councilwoman Mora? Here. Supervisor Esposito?
Present. Also present is our attorney, Gerard Parisi. We have a special guest here tonight. I think everybody here knows who it is. It's Anthony Jasinski. He's our representative from the town of Princetown and parts of Rotterdam and Duanesburg, if I'm not mistaken. And he is the chairman of the Schenectady County Legislature. And he's here to present us with a gift. And it's a great honor to introduce the Schenectady County Chairman, Anthony Jasinski.
Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. In the 2019 county budget, first of all, my name is Tony Jasinski. I chair the county legislature. I'm here this evening as a representative of District 4, who is also represented by Holly Villano, Randy Pascarella, and Brian McGarry. The four of us represent Rotterdam, Duanesburg, and Princetown. In the 2019 budget, county legislature set aside funding for parkland to be used in the legislative districts within the county. And we're very pleased to be here this evening because we ended up purchasing land between Town Hall and the Sheriff's substation next door. The Sheriff needed land, so we ended up subdividing the parcels that were owned by another owner. And we're very proud this evening to present the deed to the land adjacent to Town Hall to Supervisor Esposito and the town board from the county legislature. Official deed, signed, sealed, and delivered.
Well, we thank you, Tony. We thank the Schenectady County Legislature, and we thank Schenectady County. You know, this has been a dream come true since the town hall was constructed, I think in 2001, if I'm not mistaken. And it was at that time, it was the council members that were present that worked on this town hall, and it was always their dream to have the land next to us designated as a park or a recreational area, but the town never had the funds to purchase it. And this is one step towards that goal, and we certainly do appreciate it. The town, speaking on for the town board members and all the residents of the town of Princetown, we certainly do appreciate it, and we want to thank you and the Schenectady County Legislature for doing this. And we do have a letter crafted by our council member, and I'd like to read it. The town of Princetown, often referred to as Mayberry of Schenectady County, would like to extend its heartfelt thanks to Schenectady County Legislature under the leadership of Anthony Jasinski in the very creative acquisition of land adjacent to the Schenectady County Sheriff's Department and the Princetown Town Hall complex. The county was able to facilitate the Sheriff's Department police dog count and generously deed 2 parcels to the town of Princetown. These parcels, which Princetown was fortunate and able to use permission from the private owner, are now part of the town hall complex. Princetown sponsored the Vietnam Memorial Wall on those parcels. The most generous gift is indicative of how Schenectady County works well with towns and villages for the greater good of all. We appreciate this wonderful gift and all cooperation the county provides in terms of sharing services and purchasing power. Another example of the county helping other towns is the grant of $100,000 to expand broadband service in our neighboring town of Duanesburg. All governments in New York State would do well to emulate the cooperative and nonpartisan working of Schenectady County. Many thanks and kudos to Schenectady County Legislature and its leader, Anthony Dubinsky. We thank you.
Thank you very much.
And if you'd like copies, I can quickly make some copies for you. If you want to hand them out, it's up to you. I can do it, it wouldn't take 2 seconds.
Sure.
And here's the resolution to accept the parcel that we were at the last meeting. As hereby resolved that pursuant to Town Law 64-8, the town board hereby accepts certain real estate property and any improvements therein from the county of Schenectady, described more particularly as, and gives the parcels consisting of approximately 0.4 they have respectively said purposes to allow the town of Princetown to utilize their real property for community events and any other purposes, for purposes consistent with law.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. We're very proud of a record at the county in the intergovernmental services that we work very hard to emulate. We'd like to have to serve as an example to all of the other government entities at the federal, state, and local level of how working together works. So I thank you very much, sir.
And we thank you, and like I said, the residents of Princetown and the county and our town board certainly do appreciate everything you do.
Picture?
Okay, thank you.
Thank
We have to leave
Yeah,
us.
I apologize, I have to leave. One of our long-term legislators, Karen Johnson, passed away on June 10th. And we have 45 days to fill the vacancy, and we're appointing a new legislator this evening at 6:30, so I apologize for my short stay. But thank you all very much. Thank you.
Mr. Jasinski, I had the honor of representing the town of Princetown for 12 years when I worked for the county. And Linda Gatz does today. I'm sure you're familiar with her. And she's down there at a meeting as we speak, which is why my daughter-in-law is not there.
Very nice.
So, are we
Thanks, Mrs. Roper.
okay?
Okay, privileges of the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during the portion of the meeting referred to as privileges of the floor. Members of the public should restrict their comments to items of town business, although there is no official time constraint. Speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privileges of the floor near the beginning of each meeting. All the remarks and questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter into discussion with a person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during the portion of the meeting referred to as council member comments. Privileges of the floor is opened up at 6:13. Dave?
Lou, town board. And on behalf of Princetown Environmental Advisory Committee, I'd like to ask for a print of the map that shows the 2 acres of land that the town is receiving from the county, so that we might at a future meeting have a discussion as to what might be the beneficial uses of that land for the town. So maybe Sandy could maybe mail a map print of the, showing where the land is located next to other parcels.
Yeah, I think you have to do a formal request for that. You have to do that?
Not if it's part of the committee, I don't think.
No, okay. Then,
Thank you.
Sandy, you have a copy of that, right?
Yeah, I can email it to you and have it for
Oh, okay, whatever, okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Anything else, Dave?
No, that's it, we're having a meeting coming up in a month, so it'd be good to have that and just for a discussion. Thank you.
Any others?
Doug Thorpe, I want to thank the town board for, going through and getting this piece of land. We're the only town in the county that didn't have any, open space, parkland, and it's
just wanted to give you guys, you know, a big thank you for, you know, taking your time and getting it done.
Thank you, Doug. Any others?
I think it's a very generous thing for the county to do. And I wasn't really aware until I got a little bit more information that Mr. Esposito was giving me when he made the phone call, giving me a special invitation, and my husband June, to be here tonight, and I couldn't thank him more, and the rest of the board for letting me know this was happening. It's a wonderful thing and a very generous thing for the county to be doing. I'm proud to be a Republican tonight. Hey.
Thank you, Doug.
And
Thank you, Martha.
Mhm. I hope that part of the published meeting. minutes.
Well, it's always been a dream for the town when it was constructed that that was gonna be used as a park or recreational area. And like I said before, it's part of a dream coming true, and maybe we'll see what happens in the future and see if we can do something with that parcel right now. It certainly would be beneficial to the town of Princetown and all of the residents if we had something over there for people to enjoy, whether it be for picnics, Jim
Well,
brought up maybe a pavilion or something to play
I'm
up to.
very strongly in favor of parkland. We don't have a park, and there's so many things that we could look forward to use. We used to kind of think of the little space right under the Kelly Station Bridge every once in a while, along the creek every once in a while, when it got cleared for a while. We used to think of that as our parkland. It was sort of sketchy, but at least there were a couple of things that happened there. We had a picnic table there once, if I remember, Doug, didn't we have a picnic table there?
Yeah.
And it was, this is going to be much more formalized, and I would strongly recommend as a resident that be a consideration for use of that property.
For those that don't know, the part of this parcel is where we brought the wall that heals in, and we've had different functions in the town throughout, but we just got through clearing that area about 3 years ago, in 2016, and it's a little overgrown now, but, you know, maybe a few of us volunteers, whatever, it'd be nice to get it mowed, at least up on top of the hill where, where the ramp is, and at least keep it mowed, and so it doesn't look so overgrown now. See, it'd be a start just to get it mowed, so I'd be happy to volunteer and mow.
I think Doug said that he was going to brush hog it, I don't know, he said he would do that.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that, and then we can keep it mowed after that.
Thank you.
Any others? Okay, we'll close the privilege of the floor up at 6:19. Clock is on. Okay. Department committee reports. Highway, Nick Senior is not here right now. I think he's not feeling.
He's not feeling too good today,
No.
well, this week, so.
Alright. Let me see if I can find George Mead's water report here.
I got it right here.
Right here, if you want. Right here. Thank you. Gallons pumped, 1,627,800. Gallons per day, 54,260. Permits issued 0. Yearly readings of water meters and issuing bills for 320 accounts. Addressed issues of broken meters, etc. Generator on Ruder Drive maintenance performed by Kinsley Systems. Repair of broken chlorinator line at Well House. Normal monitoring of water quality and usage. Telephone calls. Office work. Plant inspections. Required reporting performed. That's a report from George Mead, our water commissioner. Any questions?
No.
Everybody good? Okay. Code enforcement. Anybody got his report, Andy?
Here you go.
Thank you. Total permits 3, permits issued 3, permits inspection fees collected $727, inspections 5, code zoning inspections 1, fire inspections 0, final building inspections 1, certificates of occupancy compliance 1, bank deposit $727, check to supervisor account 0, check balance as of July 8, 2019, $998.24. Activities and zoning 1, working on complaints as needed, working on planning zone as needed, working on permit final inspection as needed, reviewing plans as needed, Thomas Berreading, building inspectors. Any questions?
No.
Okay. And our dog warden.
Starting to feel like the Maytag repairman. There's nothing. You get no calls.
We like
Fall asleep
quiet.
with my feet back, you know. No, it's been quiet again. The only call was Sandy called me about a lady that had a pregnant cat that she was concerned about, but because of the ag and market laws, I can't answer any calls pertaining to cats, so.
Oh,
So refer to contact the APF for that. Other than that, no, nothing. So quiet again.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay.
Any questions for Ben?
No.
Nothing. See anything from, anything from the judge?
I don't see
No commissioner? I don't see anything. Okay. Buildings and grounds, we had a compressor breakdown at the state police barracks. It's still not repaired. I think everybody has a copy of the cost, what it's gonna cost to replace it. It's around $2,000 some odd for the compressor. They've been over there working on different problems that they have over there. They changed the filters in the buildings over here and repaired a couple of the thermostats that were not working properly. The state police will have their compressor up and running by the end of the week, I'm told. So everything should be up and running by then. They've been out of one of their compressors for approximately 7 days now. So they're not happy about it, but what are you gonna do when they had to order the compressor, so. But it should be repaired by the end of the week. We had the light pole at the end of the driveway removed. That bill should be eliminated. We were paying like $12 a month for that particular light pole, and Niagara Mohawk has taken it out. I never even requested it, I just questioned it, and I said that we really didn't need it, and next thing I know, they took it out. So I'm assuming that that bill will go away now. We had a meeting with the county about solar projects in the town, as saving monies for National Grid, that the county was putting in these solar projects, or GE was putting in the solar projects. Come to find out, we have like about 48,000 credits in our account produced by this solar that we have out here over the years. It's been about 7 or 8 years that this solar unit has been in, and lo and behold, we do have all of these credits, and we're going to apply them to the National Grid bills throughout the town that we have through the town hall and the water system. So we should be saving on that. Everybody should understand that it has nothing to do with the delivery charges. It only has to do with the cost of the supply, not the supply, the cost of the product. So that we should be saving on that, and we should be spreading it out. I didn't realize that we had that many credits until it was pointed out to us. So that's gonna be a cost savings to the town. We start utilizing these credits. we're also told that now that we've converted everything to LED lighting, we probably would have never been able to put this solar project in the town hall because it's overproducing as far as generating electrical power to the grid. So it's a benefit to us, and we're just gonna start utilizing those credits, and I'm pretty happy about that, so it's gonna be a cost savings to the town. Other than that, everything else in the town hall has been functioning properly, so if you have any questions?
Can I just add one thing? As far as town hall goes, we actually had a meeting with Spectrum. I don't know if everybody in this town knows this or not, but we had a meeting with Spectrum. Our contract is up with them, and we have to renew it. They suggested that we could put a fee on your cable bill. And we had a meeting and decided that a fee on your cable bill would be essentially a tax, which this town board is dead set against any town tax. So probably a lot of people in the town of Princetown don't even realize that they pay less for their cable than their neighbors, because there is no town, there's no fee that goes to the town. Most towns, city, all the communities in the area have a cable fee that goes directly to that municipality. Everybody except us. So, and we want to keep it that way. So that's under building and grounds as well.
I might add, that's not only around this area, it's probably throughout New York State, wherever there is cable. Everybody charges a franchise fee. Waynesburg does, the city does, Rotterdam does, Niskayuna does, Glenville does. We're the only one in Schenectady County that does not charge a franchise fee. We never did, and we're not gonna do it now. So that's something that's town should be pretty proud of, that we don't. And we do this without having a town tax, I might add, so.
And we've all vowed up here that we wouldn't have a town tax. So that's why we discussed it. We had a meeting with them, quite a lengthy meeting, and they told us how much money we could raise, a substantial amount of money, by putting that franchise fees. It would go on your bill. You'd pay your bill, and then they would pay us. That money would come to the town. But since we have, declared that we would not have a town tax as long as we could, I know I personally will resign before I put one on, and so we opted out. But the public should understand that probably within New York State, this is one of the only communities that does not have on their cable bill and their internet bill a franchise fee going to the local government. They did tempt us though with that big number. It sounded nice, but we're just not gonna do it.
Okay, one other thing, there was they're redoing the road over there on Kelly Station Road, the tunnel. I think it's under one lane now, if I'm not mistaken, Sandy? That it's under one lane, they're redoing the drainage on the tunnel on it. So they were gonna close it completely, which I guess is one lane as they continue working on it. Other than that, I don't have anything else for buildings and grounds. Any questions? No. Okay. Public hearings, we have none. Meeting minutes, is hereby resolved that meeting minutes of June 11th, 2019, regular town board meeting are approved or as amended. Discussion.
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilmember Goldie?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer? Yes. Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. General funds claims are hereby resolved, the town board approves claims number 126 through number 147 in the amount of $19,783.26. Discussion. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Pavolny?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer? Yes. Councilwoman Moore? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Water funds claim is hereby resolved, the town board approves claims number 58 through 66 in the amount of $3,197.03. Discussion.
I'll make the motion.
Second, Sandy?
Councilman Pavolny?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Trust and agency claim is hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 4/5 in the amount of $1,019 for the solar project engineer and attorney. Discussion.
This is just fees for the attorney.
These are the fees for the attorney.
Okay.
This is the one that Doug said he shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah, the fucking dollar an hour guy.
Don't get excited.
Councilman Pavolny?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Okay. Before we go into an executive session over here, is there any council member comments or discussions?
Wait, are you gonna do the solar?
Oh, yes,
hearing
yes, I'm
on
sorry
next?
about that. Thank you, Sandy, for reminding me.
Good thing with that.
Yes.
It's the last page.
Okay. Whereas the town of Princetown Town Board has received application for a solar energy generating facility from Pattersonville Solar Facility LLC, the project specifically for a major solar energy systems overlay district, and whereas the planning board has scheduled a public hearing to receive public input on the special use permit and site plan application received by the planning board, as well as to assist the town board in receiving input on the proposed rezoning to major solar energy systems overlay district for the project. And whereas the town board wishes to hold its public hearing on the major solar energy system overlay district application concurrently with the planning board. Now therefore be it resolved by the town of Princetown Town Board as follows: the town of Princetown Town Board shall conduct a public hearing on the major solar energy systems overlay district application concurrently with the planning board public hearing on the special use permit and site plan application on July 25th, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the town hall. The secretary of the planning board or the town clerk shall publish a notice of the joint hearing in the official newspaper of the town and post notice on the town website. This resolution is effective immediately, passed and adopted by the town board on the 9th day of July 2019. Discussion on this?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, hang on a second, are you gonna,
Yeah, I'm gonna,
You're gonna post it.
notice and stuff.
this is, just so everybody knows, the town board and the planning board, they have to have a public hearing, and the town board has to have a public hearing. And we can combine the two according to the, attorney in Buffalo that is handling this, solar law that we, enacted. So, we're gonna try to do this all in one, public hearing as opposed to two public hearings, which he said is done quite frequently under these circumstances. So we want to get that done together, since the planning board is the one that has actually done the most work on this, and I think that's a good idea. So is there any further discussion on it? Any questions? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Pavolny?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Okay. Is there any council member comments or concerns?
You know, I just want to comment on the property that we got. I think that's a wonderful thing. We did have the wall there. One of the first things we had to do when we had the wall is negotiate with the private owner. Of course, you know, he had concerns. He was gracious enough to let us use it, but, you know, he had concerns. Thousands of people were going to come on his property. He could be held liable, et cetera, and so forth. And now, just a few years later, we own it, thanks to the county. We actually had a meeting with the county, and we left that meeting thinking that they were gonna give us an option to buy it. And Lou and I just kind of looked at each other, and we really don't have the money to buy it. So we didn't know where that was gonna leave us, and everything was kind of left in limbo, and then they decided to just give it to us, which is fantastic. And a lot of people have had ideas floating around. You know, one thing that I think I would like to do is possibly look into, you know, the state hands out grants all the time. Amsterdam just got millions up there. I don't know if anybody's been up there to see that bridge that goes across the river and all. I mean, if we could get a grant to maybe, you know, put a pavilion there, like a veterans pavilion or something that all the town use. I don't know that, I'm just, you know, just kind of speculating, but just an idea. But it was great that we had that property, and we're thrilled. And it was so nice to have him come here tonight and present us the deed.
May I ask a question? Is it appropriate?
No, thank you.
Is it, and if it's not, just simply say so. Is it possible to know who the person who owned the property personally, so that we may indicate how pleased we are that he's had a part of this in a way? Part of the
He's
process?
very pleased, let me
Okay.
trust me on that, because what he didn't give it to the county.
I understand.
The county paid him fairly for it.
Well, it's still
Yeah,
be nice to
we
let-
could certainly do that.
How far back in his, is he private owner, or is it, like so much land in Princetown that could be part of a farm parcel or an old one? You know, lots of names, like Gray come to mind, for people who for generations have owned a piece of property in Princetown. But that is essentially, maybe their heritage is not so much in Princetown as it is in Williamsburg, or, I mean, rather, so anyway, thank you, whoever you are, Mr. or Mrs. or family, whatever, thank you very much.
Okay.
And the board for, and everyone else that worked on this. Melanie as well, who in the past has worked for the welfare of the town of Princetown as well, for many years. Every once in a while, I like to remember that she's made her contribution to this town as well. And a great family, the Esposito family, lots of other families. Okay, that's enough. I am going to say, he hasn't listened to me all the time.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mrs. Prover.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Mr. Prover. Thank you.
He's the one who's for 71 years has put up with me. So, yeah.
Congratulations on 71 years.
Thank you.
Okay. Executive session, it's hereby resolved that the town board enters into an executive session to discuss a personnel matter and to discuss a contractual matter regarding solar application. Everybody's welcome to stay around after we have the executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Pavoldi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Like I said, everybody's welcome to stay around. It shouldn't take us too long. You're more than welcome to stay and see. So we can go in the other motion to exit executive session.
I'll make it.
Second, thanks.
Sandy?
Councilman Pavoldi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Okay, can we discuss that, what we just read about the job? We gotta do that at the next meeting. Okay. All right. Anything else? be at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right, Doug, you've got something over here you wanted to talk about.
Well, there's gonna be a new facility being put in, an electric transmission transformer building in the north part of town, part of the upgrade of the major transmission lines. I was notified, I'm an adjoining property owner. I've been in communication with the director of development for that line. They're gonna be doing major upgrades all the way from Utica to Rotterdam on the big steel power lines and the wood power lines. And my property in the north, I'm between and past both of them. And where these power lines intersect, they're upgrading to a new transformer and tying the two systems together. And then, for what I read, the remainder of the wood power lines south of Mariahville are going to be decommissioned. So the wood power lines are going to come into Mariahville. They're going to be picked up by the major steel lines, and then the rest of them are going to be decommissioned. So, but there's going to be quite a large infrastructure occurring in our town in the next couple of years. So,
What's the square footage of it, you said?
10,000 square foot. It's a big facility. So, and I'm unsure on anything. The fellow, the director of the development, is coming into town next Monday and Tuesday to have a little bit of meeting just to give us a preliminary description of what they're planning to do in the town of Princetown. They're putting two upgrades, one to the west, I think it's in Herkimer, and one in the town of Princetown. But Princetown's getting the biggest.
How is that going to affect the properties up there?
I don't know. I have no answers. All I know is
No power loss at all?
I was notified because I'm an adjoining landowner, and so I called him. And they had some public hearings in different towns. They had them in Duanesburg, or I'll say back up. They weren't public hearings. They were public information sessions to just give an initial description of what they were planning on doing. And they had them right from Herkimer all the way to Gilbert. And they kind of skipped over our town, which,
We all got letters. Did you guys get letters about it?
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
letters that went out.
yeah. So that's where we're at.
Let us know when he's coming in over here.
Yeah.
We can set up a meeting with him.
Yeah, just an informal preliminary meeting. It'd be nice to see what they're. They haven't submitted any.
The next town board meeting would be, if you could come.
We can coordinate it. They're in the design phase now, and all of their proposals for the upgrades and the infrastructure upgrades have to be submitted to PSC, Public Service Commission, for approval before they start it. And they're looking at somewhere in the 2021 initiation of the construction. But it's a big to-do in Princetown. It really is. It's going to be.
Well, if you can get coordinate that, maybe he can come and explain it to us at the next town board meeting and
Yeah.
let everybody know what's transpiring.
Yeah. That's all I know.
Thank you, Doug. And, sorry,
That's
Michelle, I
okay.
overlooked you over
No,
here.
no, I
know you got
apologize.
your report over
Yep.
here, I didn't see it.
Well, I haven't, I planned on being here in time to give it in person, and I apologize, I overlooked my text message from Nicole that said 6 o'clock, so I apologize. But June, so far, for the month of July, we have 86 tickets. Our monthly report for June is going to be 17,627, so progressively each month it does get to be a little bit more to the comptroller. So far, in June, we've gotten 158 tickets from troopers and the sheriffs, and The JCAP application has just opened up just yesterday, which means the court can apply for a grant, which we've done in the past. The judge before me did that, and I did it several years before. One of the things the Office of Court Administration would like to see the court obtain through the JCAP is a safe. And when we're all set up down the hall, hopefully we can get a safe in there. I also asked about the walk-through metal detectors that we could apply for through the JCAP. They are very expensive. I don't know how receptive they would be to me applying for something of that value right off the get-go, but you never know. Matt Shivers said, go ahead and apply for it and see what happens. Some of them are 3,000, 5,000. I mean, I guess it depends, and I'm not really sure the details of them. That has yet to be done. I don't know what makes one different than the other, if it's the electronics on the top or what it is. So in the next few weeks, because the application just came out, I'll do a little bit of research on that. Maybe call OCA, maybe call a couple of the other towns around that have them. See what kind they have. And if there is anything that the town can think of for upgrading the courtroom / meeting room, let me know, and we can certainly try to implement that in the grant as well.
Okay, just so everybody knows that the suggestion was made that we give the court the room down on the corner. This came from, didn't come from me, but I agreed with it. Came from Sandy and Isla. They suggested that the court have their own separate safe and a room of their own for their own files. And I agree with that, since Sandy's the gatekeeper for the safe, and at times she's only here from Monday to Wednesday, and if the judge has to have access to the safe, she can't get in. But if she has her own safe and her own room, and since we're not using that room, I think it'd be ideal for for us to provide that room for the court. And that would be, she would have the key, she would have her own combination to the safe, blah, 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 and that would be dedicated to the court. I didn't run that by the board, but I think that's a good idea. I don't know if anybody has any objections to it.
Well, one of the things that Matt Shiver said was that while your records are secure in the vault, it doesn't truly separate the court records, which are of a sensitive nature, from the rest of the records. Not to say that Sandy's gonna let anybody in there, but just in case somebody was in there doing something that was non-court related, and happened to decide to get a little bit inquisitive, and that's not what they want. They want the court's records to be separate from the rest of the town hall records. So they are the ones that really were very happy that that suggestion came up. They were real happy about that.
And we do apologize for the slowness of this. However, with towns and municipalities, we can't just junk anything, give anything away. Everything has to go through an auction process. Lou has contacted the auctioneer to get that stuff out of there that's in there.
Yeah.
It was up to me and him. If it was, we'd probably just take it to the dump, but we can't. We can't do that.
It's no problem,
So
really.
it will go, we'll have it cleaned, as soon as
He
we
was in
can.
contact with me. He's gonna be coming out this week to evaluate the lighting fixtures that were in there that were taken down from the town and that are stored in that room. And he's gonna give us a price on it and put them up for auction under the municipalities. Everybody's gotten their journals on the town topics. Their auctions are in there all the time, so if they're gonna come up, I don't know what they're worth. They're certainly in excellent shape, and they could be used for LED lighting. You could just convert the bulbs over for that. We went with the diode lighting in here because of the grant we received, but they're all stored in there, and it wasn't easy storing in there. You can
That's why we don't really wanna move them until the auctioneer comes and gets them.
Yeah, we
We've
don't
been
wanna
in
have
here
to
for-
move them again, do we?
25 years, it's
Lot
not
of
gonna
work.
be a difference a few weeks.
No.
It's fine.
So he's supposed to let me know this week, he said he was gonna be up the week of July 8th, and I haven't heard from him yet, he sent me an email on it. So we'll just wait and see, and we can get him out of there, and then maybe Doug can put some shelves in there, and we can get the safe in there,
Okay.
and we'll get another locksmith in here to get you a key for it.
Okay.
And you'll have the access to that room.
Okay, thank
And I
you.
think that's an excellent idea, and you can thank Sandy and Isla for that
Thank you.
suggestion. They're the ones who came up with it and suggested it to me, and I agree with it, so now I know the town board agrees with it. So. And I know you're here about the truck, so we gotta let you talk about this over here, what happened.
Well, I had a little surprise, Dollar General tractor trailer came down Kelly Station Road. I guess the signs were the wrong language, you couldn't understand what they said, you couldn't get through.
And here's what happened over here, so everybody understands. We had another truck, even though it's all posted, everything is up through there. Kelly Station Road, came down through and he was gonna, I don't know how he thought he was gonna go under the tunnel, but apparently with all of the signs that's up there, he came down and he ended up in your driveway, turning around,
Turned around
his
the driveway.
lawn, and damaged the culvert, if I'm not mistaken.
He didn't particularly damage the culvert, but he destroyed the driveway. Well, the culvert is way too small, it's only about 10-inch culvert, which causes the flooding in the wintertime. And my idea at the time was to try to present it to hopefully get the county to change that culvert in the process of repairing the driveway. So you can kill two birds with one stone. But I talked with Nick Senior, and who got me with Bud Pace. Tried to had a meeting with Bud today about it, and Bud says it's just not possible. This workload is too heavy. He's not sure if he can get to it this year. But during the winter time, the whole culvert the ditch fills because the culvert can't handle the water, and it floods the road. And there was an accident on the road this winter time where a car slid on the ice, went in the ditch. When the trooper came to service the car, he stopped in the middle of the road and stopped his car, and then the trooper car slid off the road into the car that was in the ditch. And then they got a tow truck and pulled both out of the ditch. And but it's one of those situations, the culvert doesn't handle the water coming off the mountain. And it would be an ideal time to put a new culvert in, upgrade the culvert to the size it should be.
Yeah, our highway superintendent informed me about this. He
Yeah.
said he talked with the county about it, and they're
Mhm.
gonna replace the culvert. And you filed a claim with the trucking company.
I filed a claim with the trucking company, which I should be talking with them. I had a meeting with them today, I have another meeting with them tomorrow. I was hoping that, you can't really blame this on the culvert, because he didn't damage the culvert himself, but he destroyed the driveway above the culvert, so.
I wish you a lot of luck with this trucking company,
Yeah,
because
we
we've gone
have-
through this over here on our properties around here.
Yeah,
To no avail, we've never received anything from them.
well,
They seem to ignore.
That's why we got all that stuff out there, we're
I
trying
know,
to keep
exactly,
them out of
that's
it.
right, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. He had me submit a estimate and pictures and everything else, checked everything. I talked to him today, he was very satisfied with
Who's
everything.
that, Warren Trucking?
Warner Trucking, yes.
They're out of Pennsylvania.
No, this was out of Nebraska.
At least they're in the United States.
Yeah.
Try to
Yeah.
go with the Canadian
Yeah,
guys.
well, unfortunately, the driver wasn't. Yeah, like, he passed the car's GPS, and he didn't speak the language.
Well, I wish you luck getting your money from the trucking company, so. And Nick is on that. Our
Yeah,
highway superintendent said he was gonna take care of it,
Yeah.
and he said the county's gonna replace the
yeah, I
culvert.
just thought it'd be sensible to get before the board, let the board be aware of it. It was an issue. That culvert is.
I don't know how they could not, with all of the signage that's up there, the county
Oh,
put
yeah,
out all of the signage because they were going into Overlook
yeah,
and driving down and through there trying to turn around.
yeah. I realize that, but, like I said, the main thing is the unsafe situation with the culvert, with the, getting in the winter storm water. It overflows so bad, and washes down the road, and now would be the best time to change that culvert.
Well, we'll get Nick, he'll stay on top of
Yeah.
that for you.
Thank you very much,
Good
I
luck
appreciate that.
for, getting your money from the trucking company.
Well, I hope, we got our fingers crossed.
Oh, yes, I did talk to them. They didn't say they were gonna, they weren't. So, okay, is there anything else from the town board? Nothing? Doug? Nicole?
Okay.
Sue? Yeah. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Bavoli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes.